go away and get it off my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'll make it up day by day. Just say you love me like you used to and make the world go away. Make the world go away and get it off my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. Go, Mike O'Neill. You remember when you loved me?
Yep.
Before the world took me astray. If you do, then forgive me and make the world go away. Make the world go away and get it off my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. Welcome to Riverdale.
I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles that counting sheep. Were the years when I can't say I just turned around, gone away. I've been sifting through the layers, dusty books and faded papers to tell the story I used to know. It was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the great divide. The owl calling softly as the night was falling with a question, and I replied, but they's gone across the borderline. It's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, the rivers change direction across the great divide. Madeline? The finest hours that I've seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day, when the
mom here is going to try singing this. Don't really know this song, but we'll give it a shot. Key of D. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though we meet with the darkness and strife, the sunny side we always may be. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. Storm and its fury broke today, crushing hopes that we cherish so dear. Clouds and storm will time pass away, and the sun again will shine bright and clear. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. Let us breathe this song of each day. Though the moment be cloudy or fair, let us trust in our Savior always. Keep everyone in His care. Oh, keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. If we keep on the sunny side of life. More banjo,
Give me a D there. I am going to a city where the streets of gold are laid, and the tree of life is blooming, and the roses never fade. Here they bloom just for our season. Soon their beauty is decayed. I am going to our city where the roses never fade. Here they bloom but for a season. Soon their beauty is decayed. I am going to a city where the roses never fade. Where the roses never fade. Didn't know I was free when you fell in love with me, and with all your young heart you learned to care.
brought you shame and disgrace. The world has tumbled in your face, 'cause they call our love a backstreet affair. They say you wrecked our home. I'm a husband that's gone wrong. They don't know the sorrow that we've had to bear. 'Cause the one
my mother away. The circle beyond broken, by and by, Lord, by and by. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Go ahead, Michael. Undertaker, please drive slow. For this body you were holding, Lord, I hate to see her go. Where the circle beyond broken, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I followed close behind her, tried to hold her and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle beyond broken, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Do it again, Larry. Since my mother, she was gone. All my brothers, sisters crying, what a home, so sad and lone. Will the circle, join me everybody, go on broken, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Take us out, Larry. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Somebody requests a song that I know, that it helps. This is in the key of C. They're the greatest things since fig leaves. They're all the clothes you need. They're blue and white, might be striped, and the colors tend to bleed. You can take whatever you want along. There's a place to keep it all. I feel like a custom kangaroo in my bib overall. There's a pocket for your paper and a pocket for your pencil and a pocket for the key to your door. There's a loop for your hammer and a loop in back, but we don't know what that's for. There's a strap on your shoulder to hold
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Schaefer. By way of India and a couple of hospitals and a couple of airplanes, we got him back.
There's a pocket for your favorite pliers. There's a pocket for your watching chain. There's a pocket for your pocket knife so you can wheel if it starts to rain. If it gets too hot, you can undo the sides, buckle up if the temperature falls. Well, they got the pockets, so don't you knock them, they're bib overalls. There's a pocket for your paper and a pocket for your pencil and a pocket for the key to your door. There's a loop for your hammer and a loop in back, but we don't know what that's for. There's a strap on your shoulder to hold up the side if the strap on the other side falls. Their cultural tradition, their air condition, their bib overalls. My grandpa was a farmer, he wore them denim blues, tall and proud like a prairie tuxedo over his red wing boots. We buried him in a suit and tie, but I know when our trumpet calls, he'll be awaiting at the pearly gates in his bib overalls. There's a pocket for your paper and a pocket for your pencil and a pocket for the key to your door. There's a loop for your hammer and a loop in back, but we don't know what that's for. There's a strap on your shoulder to hold up the side if the strap on the other side falls. They're a cultural tradition, they're air conditioned, they're bib overalls. My grandma was a manager up there at the mall. She's so serious, she gets delirious running up and down the hall. She's just wishing she could go fishing down at the fishing pole. Well, now she can go with her own fishing pole and her bib overalls. There's a pocket for your paper and a pocket for your pencil and a pocket for the key to your door. There's a loop for your hammer and a loop in back, but we don't know what that's for. There's a strap on your shoulder to hold up the side if the strap on the other side falls. They're a cultural tradition, they're air conditioned, they're bib overalls. They're a cultural tradition, they're air conditioned, they're bib overalls.
Because I asked a friend about him, and just because I spoke his name somewhere, and just because I rang his number by mistake today, he thinks I still care. And just because I haunt the same old places where the memory of him lingers everywhere, just because I'm not the happy girl I used to be, he thinks I still care. But if he's happy thinking I still need him, then let that silly notion bring him cheer. But how could he ever be so foolish? Oh, where would he get such an idea? Just because I asked a friend about him, and just because I spoke his name somewhere, and just because I saw him then went all to pieces, he thinks I still care. Yes, he thinks I still care. Thank you. My sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Darling, I have come to tell you, though it almost breaks my heart, that before the morning dawn, we'll be many miles apart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? Can't you hear the night birds calling? Call, call, far across the deep blue sea. While of others you are thinking, won't you sometimes think of me? Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? One more kiss before I leave you. One more kiss before we part. You have caused me lots of trouble. Darling, you have broke my heart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? Don't
road. It's a hot and a heavy load, and the folks I meet ain't always kind. Some are bad and some are good, some have done the best they could, some have tried to ease my troubling mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I've been wandering through this land, just doing the best I can, trying to find what I'm meant to do. And the people that I see look getting worried as can be, and it looks like they're wondering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
And saw these two birds down there listening to music, and we drug them up to my place. They didn't have any guitars, so I had to get out my extra guitars, and we had a jam, and he didn't have that thing, and he still knew the words. He could still play and sing, and he didn't even have his electric words with him.
Yeah, I did 2 songs, those are the 2 I know.
B flat. Sweet Wyoming. Well, there's a silence on the prairie that a man can't help but feel. A shadow growing longer and nipping at my heel. But soon I know that old fall lane that runs beneath my wheels will take me home to my sweet Wyoming home. I headed down the road last summer with a few old friends of mine. They all hit the money, me I didn't make a dime. Well, the entrance fees, they took my dough, the taverns, they took my time. I'm headed home to my sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon smiling in the sky on the tune. A prairie lullaby, a peaceful dream. And old coyotes cry to some home. My sweet Wyoming home. You get the mandolin? Always loved the writing. There ain't nothing that's quite the same. Another year might bring me luck and the winning of the game. But there's a magpie on the fence rail, and he's calling out my name, and I'm heading home to my sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon smiling in the sky. I'm a tune, a prairie lullaby, a peaceful dream. An old coyote's cry, it's a song of home, a sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon, this is the last time, smiling in the sky. I'm a tune, a prairie lullaby, a peaceful dream. An old coyote's cry, it's a song of home, my sweet Wyoming home. It's a song of home, my sweet Wyoming home.
We've been better for us both had we never. In this wide wicked world ever been. And the pleasures we both found together, I am sure that I'll never forget. Oh, I'm thinking tonight of my blue eyes, who is sailing far over the sea. Yes, I'm thinking tonight of her own, and I wonder if she ever thinks of me. When the cold, cold ground will enclose me, won't you come here and shed just one tear, and say to my friends that surround me, all the heart that I've broken like you. Oh, I'm thinking tonight of my blue eyes, who is sailing far over the sea. Yes, I'm thinking tonight of her home, and I wonder if she ever thinks of me.
find that mother and father. There's so much on my mind, thinking of home and the ones I love so. Everything was so great around the old home. When I woke up and I was a-dreaming, no mother, no dad, no children to play with. Everything was so quiet, everybody was gone. There was nothing left but a lonesome old home. Something's not right. I walked out the door, and there on the hill stood two lonely graves. Lord, it gave me a chill. When I woke up and I was a-dreaming, no mother, no dad, no children to play with. Everything was so quiet, everybody was gone. There was nothing left but a lonesome old home. Stood there, everything was so still. As I started to leave that lonesome old hill, leaving behind where I used to roam, mother and dad, and a lonesome old home. Then I woke up and I was a-dreaming, no mother, no dad, no children to play with. Everything was so quiet, everybody was gone. There was nothing left but a lonesome old home. On a long, lonesome journey I'm going. I'm too quiet now. On a long, lonesome journey I'm going. Oh, please don't you cry.
your arms through these bars once like ours. Let me kiss those sweet lips I love her. For in life consolation, and in sorrow my healer rest. And at night through these bars I will leave the stars that long for the kisses and rain. The piece of stone I will use for my pillow while I'm sleeping shackled and chained. While I'm sleeping shackled and chained.
twilight, oh, I see her. Blue eyes bright in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember. Oh, silver. All my life I've loved in vain. I can see no star in heaven. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday when we meet up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Blue eyes crying in the rain.
This is a real love song for Valentine's Day. Get your handkerchiefs out. It's in the key of C. Oh, I couldn't live a single day without you. Actually, on second thought, well, I suppose I could. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, honey, you're the greatest. Well, at any rate, I guess you're pretty good. Now it seems to me I'm relatively lucky. I know I probably couldn't ask for any more. I honestly can say you're an above average lady. You're almost just what I've been looking for. Well, you're sort of everything I ever wanted. You're not perfect, but I love you anyhow. You're the woman that I always dreamed of. Well, not really, but you're good enough for now. You're pretty close to what I've always hoped for. That's why my love for you is fairly strong. And I swear I'm never going to leave you, darling. At least till something better comes along. Well, you're sort of everything I ever wanted. You're not perfect, but I love you anyhow. You're the woman that I always dreamed of. Well, not really, but you're good enough for now.
God bless America again. You see all the trouble that she's in. So wash her pretty face and dry her eyes, and then God bless America again. God, I sure wish you'd bless America again. You know, like you did way back then when it all began. You blessed her then, but we all sort of took it for granted and didn't ask again. But God, just hold her hand, that's all. In case she stumbles, don't let her fall. You know, I don't understand everything I read and hear about what's wrong with America. But when you don't have a whole lot of book learning, there's a whole lot of things you don't understand. But I know this much, God, she's like a mother to me. And everything I am or ever hope to be, I owe to you and to her. So wash her pretty face and dry her eyes, and then God bless America again. Thank you.
I was supposed to be in India still, till the 21st, and God had different plans for me. I stepped in to a little thing called a heart attack. Well, the first day in country in India on the 29th of January. About an hour after things started happening, I was back in the ward and talking to people and having a fun time. Got in some friends and called them and got a hold of them in Lexington. I said, can you run down to Kearney and tell my wife I had a heart attack? They said, sure, we can do that. And they convinced her I was okay, and she said, that's too bad. She said, I was hoping for good news.
She had that travel insurance and
Yeah, she
everything.
did. You know, I never take it out, but she always, for some reason, she said, don't worry about it, I've got it taken care of. But I called her the next day, because I was feeling pretty good, and by the time I was getting done talking to her, she said, you're planning on staying, aren't you? And I said, yeah. But some friends who helped make decisions for me said, no, you're not, John. So it's kind of funny, because the friend who went with me, this is the third year in a row he's went with me, he's from Peculiar, Missouri, so I think he's a pretty peculiar person to go with me anyway. And he made all the decisions, and unfortunately the right decisions. And it was funny, the night this all happened, we were talking about, wouldn't it be great to fly first class just once to India or back? Be careful for what you wish for, you know. But we had a wonderful flight, and one of the first things that went through my mind when all this was happening, I didn't have a lot of pain or anything, was thanking everybody for your love and sharing yourselves with me. And tonight, we'll do Mike's song, that he always asks me to do, and hopefully I'll make it through it. Because we do need to remember those who have been precious to us. He remembers the first time he met her. Is that too high? He remembers the first thing she said. He remembers the first time that he held her, and the night that they were wed. He remembers the first thing he told her. Remembers the fun and the teasing, and the reason he wrote her this song. I'll give you a daisy, a dear. I'll give you a daisy, a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds will blow on. They would walk down the street in the evening, and for years I would watch them go by, and their love that was more than the clothes that they wore could be seen in the gleam of their eyes. As a kid, they would take me for candy. Oh, how I loved to go tagging along. We'd hold hands as we walked to the corner, and the old man would sing the song. I'll give you a daisy, a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy, a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds will blow away. Now he walks down the street in the evening, and he stops by the old candy store, and I somehow believe he's believing that he's holding her hand like before. For he feels all her love walking with him, and he smiles at the things she might say. Then the old man walks up to the hillside, and he gives her a daisy a day. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the river runs through, and the four winds we know blow away. Thank you.
Down in Dallas, there's a palace. I met a boy who was so cute. I loved his hugging, I loved his kissing. As we sit in his little red coupe, he said, tell me confidentially, how much do you love me? So I thought a while and then I smiled, and this is what I told her, don't you see? I love you, honey, I love you, mommy, I love your automobile. I love you kissing, I wouldn't miss him. You're the sweetest thing on wheels. I love you kissing, I wouldn't miss him. No matter how I try. I love you money, I love you honey, but most of all your automobile. Down in Dallas, there's a palace. I met a boy who was so cute. I loved his hugging, I loved his kissing. As we sat in his little red coupe, he said, tell me confidentially, how much do you love me? So I thought a while and then I smiled, and this is what I told her, don't you see? I love you honey, I love you money, I love your automobile. I love you baby, I don't mean maybe. You're the sweetest thing on wheels. I love you kissing, I wouldn't miss them, no matter how I try. I love you money, I love you honey, but most of all your automobile. I love you money, I love you honey, but most of all your automobile.
I was looking for the storyteller, and the big storyteller, one of the big storytellers, Tom T. Hall. And I'd give a nickel if anybody knew the Tom T. Hall song that's been recorded more than any other. And you'll never guess it.
I don't get a chance to.
You don't get a chance because it's in front of you. If you love somebody enough, you'll follow wherever they go. That's how I got to Memphis. That's how I got to Memphis. If you love somebody enough, you'll go where your heart wants to go. That's how I got to Memphis. That's how I got to Memphis. I know if you'd seen her, you'd tell me, 'cause you are my friend. I've got to find her and find out what trouble she's in. If you tell me that she's not here,
I'll follow the trail of tears. That's how I got to Memphis. 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 She would get mad and she'd say that she'd come back to Memphis one day. That's how I got to Memphis. That's how I got to Memphis. I haven't eaten a bite or slept for 3 days and nights. That's how I got to Memphis. That's how I got to Memphis. I've got to find her and tell her that I love her so. I'll never rest till I find out why she had to go. Thank you for your precious time. Forgive me if I start to cry. That's how I got to Memphis. 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 That's how I got to Memphis.
It's been 10 long years since I left my home in a holler where I was born, where the cool fall nights make the woods look brown and a fox hunter blows his horn. I fell in love with the girl from the town. I thought that she would be true. Then ran away to Charlotte and worked in a sawmill too. What have they done to the old place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in the town? Well, the girl ran off with somebody else. The terrors took all my pain. Here I stand where the old ones before they took it away. What have they done to the old place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in this town? Now the geese fly south and the cold wind moans. As I sit here hang my head, I lost my love, I lost my home, and now I wish I was dead. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in this town? Why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in this town?
Sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I will give it one more try. to tell my rainbow race it's too soon to die. Some folks, they want to live like an ostrich, bury their heads in the sand. Some hope that those plastic dreams can unclench those greedy hands. Some hope to take the easy way. Poison bombs, they think they need them. Don't you know you can't kill all the unbelievers? There's no shortcut to freedom. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all of our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, let me give it one more try, to tell my rainbow race it's too soon to die. Go tell all the little children, tell the mothers and fathers too. Now's our last chance to learn to live what's been given to me and you. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, let me give it one more try, to tell my rainbow race it's too soon to die. And because I love you, let me give it one more try, to tell my rainbow race it's too soon to die.
cried, they don't understand, as the blood poured from his side. How can you refuse them now? How can you refuse them now? How can you turn away from his side? With the tears in his eyes, on the cross he died. How can you refuse Jesus now? As he hung there on the tree, he prayed for you and me. There was no one his pain to ease. Just before he died, he faintly cried, Father, forgive them, please. How can you refuse them now? How can you refuse them now? How can you turn away from his side? With the tears in his eyes, on the cross he died. How can you refuse Jesus now? How can you refuse them now? How can you refuse them now? How can you turn away from his side? With the tears in his eyes, on the cross he died. How can you refuse Jesus now? How can you refuse Jesus now?
Tonight I'm sad, my heart is weary. If I'm wrong or right, to dream of you. Very hard tonight.
That old rain is growing slowly falling. I'm on my window pane tonight. And Lord, your love is getting close.
anybody know what this is called? It's an introduction, but it's called Four Potatoes. I told that to somebody the other day, and they looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" But I've always known it as Four Potatoes.
I heard it called Up Kitty, Down Kitty.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll start it with Four Potatoes, or
Anyway, it's just supposed to be the rest of the band gets with him when he does it.
go something like this.
I can see you right now. You get the calendar down, draw a circle around the day we're having bound. When sugarcane time, along about you, I'll be walking with sugar, need that old sugar moon. When sugar moon shines sugar, need that old sugar moon. I can see you right now. She gets the calendar down. She'll draw a circle around. Today we're heading bound. I can see you right now. Of all the kisses I miss, I'll be getting them soon. There'll be no when the sugar moon shines along about you. I'll be walking with sugar, need that old sugar moon. Do it again, Mike. When sugar moon shines along about you, I'll be walking with sugar, need that old sugar moon. All the kisses I missed, I'll be getting them soon. Sugar kisses from sugar, need the sugar moon. I'll be drinking sweet dreams of all the loving I'll give. I'll get back to my pen, there'll be no regret. When the sugar moon shines along about June, I'll be walking with sugar, need that old sugar moon. Thank you.
That's why I'm late, and I feel bad that I left early, but this is good fellowship too, I think. I always get a request for some Vince Gill, and I haven't done it for quite a while, so we'll do a little Vince Gill. We're in F, or Capo 3, and play out of D. When I call your name. I rushed home from work like I always do. I spend my whole day just thinking of you. When I walk through the front door, my whole life was changed. 'Cause nobody answered when I called your name. A note on the table that told me goodbye. It said you've grown weary of living a lie. Oh, but your love is ended, but mine still remains. But nobody answers when I call your name. Oh, the lonely sound of my voice calling is driving me insane. And just like rain, the tears keep falling, 'cause nobody answers when I call your name. call your name. Oh, the lonely sound of my voice calling is driving me insane. And just like rain, the tears keep falling, 'cause nobody answers when I call your name. Yes, nobody answers when I call your name.
Once in the dear dead days beyond recall, when on the world the mist began to fall, out of the dreams that rose in happy throng, low to our heart love sang an old sweet song. And in the dusk, where fell the firelight gleam, softly it wove itself into our dream. Just a song at twilight, when the lights are low, and the flickering shadows softly come and go. Though the heart be weary, sad the day and long, still to us at twilight comes love's old song, comes love's old sweet song. Even today we hear love's song of yore. Deep in our hearts it dwells forevermore. Footsteps may falter, weary grow the way, still we can hear it at the close of day. So till the end, when life's dim shadows fall, love will be found the sweetest song of all. Just a song at twilight, when the lights are low, and the flickering shadows softly come and go. Though the heart be weary, sad the day and long, still to us at twilight comes love's old song, comes love's old sweet song.
A night with no moonlight, a day with no sun, a plane with no pilot, a watch that won't run, a tree with no branches, a rose with no dew, a girl with no sweetheart, that's me without you. A train with no whistle, a car with no gas, a well with no water, a show with no cast, a coat with no buttons, a church with no pew, a girl with no sweetheart, that's me without you. A girl with no sweetheart, that's me without you. I've got many golden memories number one. Even fools get lonesome sometime, and I guess that's what this fool has gone and done. For tonight I'm thinking about old memories, and you're my memory number one. Yes, you're my memory number one.
All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. I wish to the Lord I've never been born or died when I was young. I never ever see your sparkling blue eyes or heard your lying tongue. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Don't you see that turtle dove that flies from pine to pine? He's mourning for his own true love, just like I mourn for mine. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Don't you see that passenger train going around the bend? It's taking away my own true love to never return again. All good times are past and gone. All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Come back, my own true love, and stay a while with me. For if ever I've had a friend in this world, then you've been a friend to me. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Little darling, don't you weep no more.
driving to town, getting stuff when your mama ain't cooking. We'll hang the rooster on the wall. Fish ends, chickens, trying to catch a big end. White ones, black ones, yellow ones, red ones, don't matter just as long as I get one. Mama finds out you only catch another licking. Mama don't like nobody, mama don't allow nobody, mama don't like nobody fishing with chickens.
You're drifting away from the dear Savior who's bleeding today. What would you do if the Savior was nigh? When the pale horse and bride go by, well, the time is now near when the Savior will come, and you will be judged by the deed you have done. On Judgment Day, you'll weep and you'll cry when the pale horse and his bride go by. Well, listen, poor sin, you're drifting away from the dear Savior who's bleeding today. What would you do if the Savior was nigh? When the pale horse and his rider go by. Will soften your heart and turn from all sin, for Jesus is waiting to welcome you in. There's coming a time you wish he was nigh, when the pale horse and his rider go by. Well, listen, poor sin, you're drifting away from the dear Savior who's bleeding today. What would you do if the Savior was nigh? When the pale horse and his rider go by.
is written by J.D. Summers, who was part of the Jordanaires, part of the Oak Ridge Boys, went way back. He has passed away now. And boy, was he a bass singer. And it was written for bass because he wrote it. He sang the headline on this. It's in D. We'll see if we can do it. I've got a wall that lonesome road. I got a wall that lonesome road. I've got a hold my Savior's hand. I gotta walk that lonesome road. He'll go with me in the valley and the mountains high, high, high. If I stumble, if I falter, the Lord will be my guide. I've got to walk that lonesome road. I gotta walk that lonesome road. Anybody want to do it? I've got to walk that lonesome road. I got to walk that lonesome road. I've got to take my Savior's hand. I got to walk that lonesome road. He'll go with me in the valley and the mountains high, high, high. If I stumble, if I falter, the Lord will be my guide. I've got to walk that lonesome road. I got to walk that lonesome road. Yes, I gotta walk that lonesome road.
I'm the only one that, for a guitar player, that when you're learning a new song, it seems like when you're learning it, when you see your guitar, you're like, I'm just gonna try it just real quick, because you're kind of addicted to it. It's kind of your thing. You know what I mean? So if you go to my house at like 6:30, and I'm all alone, this is what I do. So I've never sang this before for anybody else. You guys heard it just a little bit. So it's by Jimmy Fortune. He wrote it for his mother. When I see the sunrise in the morning, when I feel the wind blow across my face, when I hear the sound of children playing, I know it's all a part of God's amazing grace. And I believe there's a place called heaven, and I believe in a place called Calvary.
life for me. I was there the day my mama went to heaven. I held her hand as she closed her eyes to sleep, and I felt the power of 10,000 angels take her soul away to be crowned at Jesus' feet. And I believe there's a place called heaven, and I believe in a place called Calvary, and I believe in a man, his name is Jesus, and I believe that he gave his life for me. Yes, I believe that he gave his life for me. Then come my heart to hear and praise my fears relieve. How precious is that grace appeared the hour I first believed.
Tonight I'm sad, my heart is lonely. Oh, the only one I love. When will I see her? Oh, no, never. Till we meet in heaven above. So bury me beneath the willow, underneath the weeping willow tree, so she will know where I am sleeping, and perhaps she'll wait for me. She told me that she dearly loved me. How could I believe it untrue? Until the angels softly whispered she would prove untrue to you. So bury me beneath the willow, underneath the weeping willow tree, so she will know where I am sleeping, and perhaps she'll be for me, Evelyn. How about a fiddle?
When this life is over, fly away to old and on God's wonderful shore. Fly away, fly away, oh Gloria, fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, oh fly away. Fly away, oh Gloria, fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, oh Good night. Thank you all. See you next time.